As a media maker myself, I've been doing my best to support the citizen media teams at Standing Rock, providing drones, because I realize that it's these technologies that allow us to film what's actually happening when the corporate media is otherwise ignoring or painting quite a different picture. All of the pilots, there's a deep sense of respect. I've seen them refuse to fly because there are hawks in the sky, and I've seen every single pilot go out of the way to avoid any kind of interference with any kind of aircraft in the sky.
Don't move anywhere, just keep going up.
Can you tell us what has landed you in some legal situation?
First, I want to just tell you why I went to Standing Rock. I used to work in the oil fields in North Dakota, but the things that I saw pushed me away from it, specifically the kind of environmental degradation and destruction. So I was like, I can't be doing this to the earth and to other people, the people of North Dakota. It's going to ruin their water. So I quit. I changed roles with my wife, and I started being a stay-at-home dad. My kids are what brought me to Standing Rock, you know.
I get it.
It's their water too, their future, and everybody's future. And this was the beginning of September. I start filming everything that's happening. I go up to get a shot of the path of the pipeline. An officer comes up to me and he said, "Is that your drone?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "I need you to land it." I said, "Okay." As soon as it touches the ground, he grabs it and turns away and tries to walk away with it. I was like, "Hey, what are you doing? You can't just take my drone." If he had come up to me and told me that I did something wrong and explained to me that he's going to confiscate my drone because of XYZ, I would have been okay with it. But the way he did it, he just tried to grab it and walk away. At the same time, the crowd had formed a tight circle with cameras. I remember him saying something like, "Let's go talk about it, you and me."
You can talk right here.
The crowd said, "You don't need to talk about it up there, you can talk about it right here." He hesitates and he lets go of the drone. When he does that, the crowd says, "Thank you. Thank you, thank you." I didn't get arrested that day. I didn't get a ticket or a citation, nothing. 6 weeks go by. I was driving with Myron Dewey.
Myron, who is also a drone operator.
Yes, and I was filming in the back seat. Maybe 5 minutes of leaving camp, there was a police officer behind us already. And as we're coming back, we stopped and talked to the officer that was following us. And he looked and he said, "Hey, Myron."
How you doing?
And Myron said, "What? How do you know my name?"
I don't know who you are. What's your name? Oh, I know who you are. What's up?
And he said, "How though?" And the guy kind of hesitated and he said, "Well, you're all over Facebook, man."
Guy knew me by my name. That's pretty crazy.
For being a journalist.
For being a native journalist at that.
We drive up to the next police car and we pull over to talk to him. And at one point I spoke up and I told him, "Hey, you seem like a reasonable guy, but Morton County is doing things that feel unconstitutional." And within 24 hours of me telling this officer that on the live stream, there's a warrant out for my arrest. They're saying that I tried to fly my drone into a plane.
Did your drone come close to this plane at all?
No, I never flew my drone toward a plane. They also said I endangered the crowd by flying over the crowd because the drone could have failed and fell on someone. So the first felony where they're saying I demonstrated an extreme indifference to the value of human life, that's 5 years I'm facing for that one. The second count of reckless endangerment for flying over the crowd is another year, so that's 6 years there. And then the third count is obstructing a government function, another year, so it's a total of 7 years.
For simply flying a drone, you are faced with the possibility of being apart from your children for years.
You know, it's not. It's not a good feeling because I never meant to. I never endangered anybody. I never tried to do anything wrong. And I went up there for my kids, so I remember how slow time was when I was a kid. That's like 30 years to an adult. To have the threat hang over me and not being there for a big chunk of my children's life is the hardest thing I've ever been through in my life. Whatever their intentions were, I don't want any more negativity between people and police. You know, my hope is there's a process of healing and learning, and I don't know how people can help other than to spread awareness, pay attention to what's happening with the legal battles in Standing Rock, not just mine, but with all of them.
I just hope and pray in the spirit of Standing Rock that the jury selected, that they are a good enough judge of character to understand that justice needs to be served here, and that justice would be to let you go home to your children.